Hey everybody, we need to have a conversation because you people have been going absolutely insane on Facebook. And so I think that it's worth talking about. And I think that there needs to be some clarification and some clout brought to the situation because people are going crazy and it's actually mostly unwarranted at this point. And I'm going to explain why. And we're going to have to look at the fact that we see the Democratic Party and extremely leftist progressive liberals alike becoming the Tea Party that they hate and despise so much. So if you all would share this video, I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. And we're going to talk because it's getting a little ridiculous in here. Like, seriously. You got to tell people, just like, chill out. Chill out. Chill out. Who we have here? Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Jacqueline. I saw Anna. Who else is here? Let me know if you're here. Who else we got? I don't see nobody saying hi. Don't be shy now. Don't be shy. I talk back. I see Carrie. Good morning. Jacqueline. Tori. Hello. What's up, Dan? How you doing? We got Diana. Hi, Diana. For you all, Eric. Hey, Eric, how you doing? For you all watching, can you share this video? I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Who else we got? A lot of people on this morning. Y'all up early. I must got to go to work. I wouldn't be up this early if I didn't have stuff I have to do. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Diana. We're going to get started here pretty soon. I'm just doing my sharing. I got to do my sharing so people watch me. I'm not popular enough yet, so I got to share and let everybody know I'm on. What's up, Jock? Hey, Karen. Hey, Aunt. Mr. Anthony. What's up, Casey? How you doing? I gotta share on my radio station. Boom. I gotta look up one quick statistic. How's everybody doing this morning? Y'all, if y'all been enjoying the, hold on, I gotta move this. It's getting kind of crazy. This light is getting kind of crazy up in here. Let me see what I got. Okay, here we go. Which protest last night, Jacqueline? There's a lot of them. There were a lot. But we're gonna talk about them. I saw the one in California. I saw the one in Chicago. I don't think there was one in New York. If there was, I didn't see it. Hold on. What we got? Anybody else is here? We got anybody else here? There was one in New York. Okay, I don't know. I was avoiding the streets because Well, I was being smart because I didn't want to break people's heart with the truth last night. I wasn't in the truth-telling mood. I was in a let me sober up from the realization that Trump is in fact our president. Yeesh. If only someone somewhere could have did something to stop this. Like Bernie, for example. Anyway, with that being said, it is time for us to begin. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have an issue about what's been taking place. These protests are completely and totally uncalled for. They have absolutely no right to be making these protests. And this is why I say this. If you were not protesting in the streets when Bernie Sanders lost, when you were a Hillary supporter, then you don't care about democracy. You don't care about the elections being rigged. And you did not actually care about the outcome of this election. What you wanted to see was your candidate win. While the rest of us were at the Democratic National Convention protesting, we weren't protesting because we just love Bernie Sanders that much. Don't get me wrong. I am extremely fond of Bernie Sanders. The man is absolutely adorable and admirable. However, that's not why I was there. I didn't go all the way to Philadelphia, nor did people come all the way to Philadelphia from California, Colorado, Texas, Kansas, Mississippi. I saw people from Portland. There was somebody from Canada. They didn't go to the DNC convention simply to support Bernie Sanders. No. They went there because our democracy was under attack. We protested because our elections were rigged. We protested because our exit polling had been taken down after they told us they were fraudulent. We were protesting because our registrations were switched. We were protesting because our registrations were dropped. We were protesting because they were colluding with the media. We were protesting because Debbie Weiss-Schultz is a conniving, cheating bitch. We were protesting because Hillary didn't do anything to deserve to be in that position. We were protesting because Bernie won the initial roll call voting, then the second roll call voting, and then they went back and said that he lost the third one after he won 3 times. We were protesting because Bernie Sanders went there to win, then something happened, and then he ended up suspending the rules and giving it to Hillary Clinton. However, what most of you don't know is that the only reason that he brought Tulsi Gabbard there and Nina Turner there was specifically to nominate him so that he could run a contested convention. We were protesting for democracy. You are protesting for Hillary Clinton. But guess what? If you were there with us while we were protesting democracy, then maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't have handed the Supreme Court over to Donald Trump and the Republicans. Maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't have handed the Congress over to the Republicans. Maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't have handed the Senate over to the Republicans. Not only that, but maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't have screwed over every state legislature in the country because you wanted your fucking white women to be president. Maybe, just maybe, if you cared about democracy instead of being on the winning team, you wouldn't have to be out protesting President Donald Trump. Maybe. You ignored when democracy was being violated. And guess what happened? When you ignored that, you caused a glitch in the matrix. Because that's exactly what Donald Trump is. Because we had the candidate who was outpacing Donald Trump in numbers when it came to crowds, who was outpacing Donald Trump when it came to newly registered voters coming out of the independent affiliation. You had ignored all of this. You saw the numbers. You saw the records being destroyed, absolutely dismantled by Bernie Sanders. You saw, but you did nothing. And now all of you who were either involved in a primary and just ignored everything, ignored the WikiLeaks, ignored the Guccifer leaks, ignored the content that was in the WikiLeaks, ignored the fact that she's supposed to be under or that she was, and up until 3 days ago is under federal investigation. Ignore the fact that she still has racketeering charges awaiting her somewhere. Ignoring the fact that she still had fraud charges waiting her somewhere. And what you all kept saying was, no, it's some false right-wing Republican narrative. No, it's not. It was not a false right-wing Republican narrative because almost all the lawsuits are from Democrats or former Democrats. The fact that y'all could sit here and pretend that you care about democracy is absolutely beyond me. You didn't care about democracy. So because of that, it's like you skipped a step. You skipped a step on the map and you ended up at the wrong destination. That's what happened. So here we are. And you know what's even funnier to me is that now, because we've arrived at this destination, you all are behaving like Tea Partiers. You are. There's really no other way to describe it. You are behaving like Tea Partiers. I didn't get the candidate I want, so I'm just going to hate everything about the other candidate because I don't know who he is. And yeah, he says all this crazy stuff, but you know what? Trump is an idiot. Trump is an asshole. Trump is a misogynist. Trump is sexist. But the truth of the matter is, we have at least 40 other presidents who were the exact same thing. So I'm going to explain to you all something. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this term, but it's called ad hominem. When you do an ad hominem attack, it is attacking the person not based on their merits, not based on what they could do, not based on the work that they may achieve or may have not achieved. You're just doing it because you don't like that person. And I have some really, really, really bad news for you all. We've had misogynistic, chauvinistic, racist pricks as presidents, founding fathers, and national leaders for this country's entire history. Some people that you all revere as being some of the greatest men on this planet, or even the greatest women on this planet, were racist as hell. I'm a big fan of Benjamin Franklin, and this dude is a misogynistic asshole. George Bush had slaves. Abraham Lincoln, who managed to free the slaves, also had slaves. Lyndon B. Johnson was a racist prick. The guy who signed off on the Civil Rights Amendments. You all have not realized that you cannot behave in the same manner as Tea Partiers because that makes you like them. No, I do not like Trump as a person. No, I did not like George Bush as a person, but I eventually realized, actually, I didn't mind George Bush as a person. I just despised his policies. But he was an okay guy. Jeb Bush, I actually did like as a person. I actually really liked Jeb Bush. Like, he was a really cool guy. John Kasich, I actually liked as a person. But I didn't like their policies. Some of my best friends, I love to death, and I don't like the way they think politically, but that doesn't mean I don't like them as a person. But you have situations like with Barack Obama, where I loved him as a person, but towards the end of his presidency, I did not like him as a president. Nor did I like his policies. So, for those of you not doing your due diligence and giving the president a chance to do what he has to do, you are just as bad as the Tea Party. Because if you think having a misogynist, having a chauvinist, having a person who spews out stupid rhetoric and racist rhetoric, and just because he doesn't code his like all the other presidents did, that means something. We've had this over and over and over and over again. Some of you, no, you know what? We didn't have this over. We still have it because you had someone like that in Hillary Clinton. But because she was better at glossing over her racism, glossing over, because she in fact is a misogynist in a lot of ways, in case you didn't know. She was equally or unequally paying people that worked in her Clinton Foundation. She was shaming environmentalists. Like, this is not new. People who get in power tend to become these things. I am not a fan of Donald Trump. Never have ever been, probably never will be, of him as a person. But as an objective mind, as an intellectual, and as a politico, I believe everyone should have their due diligence. And just because something does not fit your narrative, especially when you were once in control of that narrative and you decide to ignore it, because the difference between myself and other Bernie supporters and onlookers and you all was that if Hillary had election fraud committed against her in this particular election in this extreme extent, like what we saw during the Bernie Sanders election, like for example, if Hillary would have lost like Manhattan and it was obvious, I would have spoken out about it. I probably would be out there protesting with you. And so would Bernie Sanders supporters. Not because Hillary didn't win, not because Trump won, but because democracy was not allowed to prevail. And that is how we got to this point anyway. And we are witnessing the ramifications of a failed democracy. That you had a chance to fix. So, you can't be upset at where we're at right now. What you can do is give Donald Trump his due diligence. Because I just reviewed his policies. And his policies actually aren't that bad. He said that he wants to put a hiring freeze on federal employees, which actually doesn't adversely affect any minorities. In fact, it mostly affects white people. So y'all going to be a little bit upset about that. But it's just reality. And the reason he's putting a hiring freeze on federal employees is specifically because we're paying federal employees a lot of money, and a lot of them actually don't have jobs to do. I know. I worked in the federal side of the federal side of the job world. Like, that's actually a very good start. He's not firing anybody. He's not cutting out anybody's retirement. And that was just one thing that he offered doing. He says he wants to get rid of a couple of federal regulations, but he said they're only going to get rid of a couple of unnecessary federal regulations if one is applied. Which actually, in some cases, is a good thing, because when you have too many regulations, regulations start contradicting themselves. So he didn't say he wants to deregulate everything. He just says that he wants to, if we're going to add regulations, we need to take away unnecessary ones. That's another thing that's actually okay. Not one, he didn't even write the wall. He didn't even write it. For all we know, the wall thing is not even going to come into fruition. It probably isn't, because he probably had somebody sit down with him like, bro, that's not even possible. I don't know who told you it was. I'm sorry. Like, I know you were saying that, but we can't make it happen. Seriously. He's likely going to sit back and do trade deals. Because he doesn't want to be the president. He wants to be able to tell other people. Donald Trump didn't become a billionaire because he was such a hard worker and he had such great ideas. He hired other people who had great ideas and were hard workers. He is not what you all should be worried about. And the fact that you all are worried about Donald Trump shows me that, once again, you are either young or you don't understand politics, or you are both, or you're older and don't understand politics. If you understood politics, then you would know. You should be pissed at yourselves. Because once again, when you didn't fight for democracy, you also affected the amount of turnout that the Democrats had. Because, well, Bernie Sanders once again broke all the records. And because you didn't allow him to win, which he did win multiple times in multiple different ways, you decreased the voter turnout. So whenever we had a chance to flip the Senate and the House, y'all gave it to Republicans. And guess what? Even if Hillary Clinton somehow managed to scrape by, she wasn't going to be able to do a damn thing. She wasn't. She wasn't going to be able to do anything with a Senate and a Senate and a House. And then all she was going to do was blame it. She was going to blame it on the Republicans, blame it on everybody else, but never actually take responsibility just so she can get her second 8 years to do the damage that she would do. But let's go ahead and talk about the last time that a corrupt set of Democrats had the House and the Senate. Thomas, are you telling me that I am lying? Somebody says that I keep lying. So I would love for him to tell me what I'm quote unquote lying about, because all these things are factual. So with that being said, what we can do is look at the last time. I don't know if you all are familiar with what happened in the late 1800s. The late 1800s was one of the most corrupt periods in American history. And actually, it was led by the quote-unquote Republicans, which today we knew were considered the Democrats. Because they were allowed, they were the Abe Lincoln Republicans at first. Then they kept becoming more and more corrupt as they gained more and more power, which is why we need balance in the government. As they became more corrupt, they began to overregulate and simultaneously deregulate, which was pretty weird. But if you know history, you understand what I'm talking about. I don't really have time to explain it. But they began to overregulate in certain areas and completely deregulate. And at the same time this was going on, there were backdoor deals and people taking advantage of this in every way you can. They were giving out secret stock options, and things were going haywire. I'm gonna put it like that. So leading into the 1920s, which we had the quote-unquote roaring 20s, which was like a light bulb right before it fizzled out, we had depression. And do you know who was in charge whenever the depression hit, and who had control of the House, the Senate, the presidential office, and the Supreme Court? The Republicans, otherwise known as the Democrats. Because it wasn't the liberal, progressive, equal opportunity Democrats that so many people have been yearning for and so many people would have expected if Bernie Sanders had won. It was the ones that are like Hillary, like Cory T. Booker, like Barack Obama, like all of the corrupt Democrats who would have been taking charge if we would have allowed Hillary Clinton to become president. So yes, Donald Trump is not our favorite candidate. I do not like him as a person. I don't. I probably won't like a lot of his policies. I probably won't like much of his cabinet. I won't. There's a good chance that I really, really won't. But the issue still becomes, I would rather have him than the destruction of his damn planet. And that's exactly what would have happened. I would rather have Donald Trump than World War III. I would rather have Donald Trump than someone telling us, yeah, Russia's trying to interfere with our elections, and that's how this came into fruition. No, because if you weren't sending those type of emails to begin with, nobody would have been able to use them against you, first of all. Second of all, Assange is Australian, held in the Ecuadorian embassy in Great Britain. Has nothing to do with Russia. Third of all, people have already figured out that FBI agents, CIA agents, and other intelligence agencies were giving Assange the information. And we also figured out that the United Nations confirmed this and then exonerated Assange of any wrongdoing in this particular situation. So, no, you will not be able to draft our daughters. No, you will not be able to draft our sons. Donald Trump says a lot of things. But once again, if you all have been paying attention, a year and a half ago, Miss Hillary Clinton was against the rights of the LGBTQ members of the community. The same ones that are out there fighting for her right now and protesting for her right now. She was against them. She was standing right beside her husband, advocating for legislation that ultimately broke up the black community. She defended a rapist, claimed that she had to because it was her civic duty or civil duty. And it turned out she actually volunteered for it and took it as a favor, and then got the rapist off by blaming the victim and laughing about it, calling it a quote unquote miscarriage of justice because of the blood in her underwear. That is Hillary Clinton. And if all she had to do was walk up and apologize and just say, hey, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm a progressive now. Come love me. Come vote for me, please. Forgive everything I did when I wasn't actually progressive. So then my question would be, if Donald Trump, who used to be progressive and liberal, came up after his last year and a half of saying all kinds of crazy nonsense and said, I'm sorry for it, would you then forgive him? Because this is why I have to keep an objective mind in politics. I don't believe not a damn thing that either one of them said. I don't believe not a damn thing that Elizabeth Warren says. I don't believe not a damn thing that anybody at the top says. Because if you're at the top, there's a reason. And if I didn't see how you got there, then I don't trust in the integrity of your journey. It's really that easy. It really is. So if you're going to slam Donald Trump for a year and a half, you better do the same damn thing about Clinton for the last 20 to 30 years of her career. And if you're going to forgive Hillary Clinton after she apologized and then pretended to be progressive after Bernie essentially forced her over there, you need to forgive Donald Trump if he apologizes and says, okay, well, we won't do the wall stuff or the racist stuff, but, I'm sorry. But, yes, Jordy, I am running for office. I'm running for president in 2024, actually. I made the announcement a couple of weeks ago. So, with that being said, please share this video. Please let the world know that they are acting a little ridiculous right now. Seriously. Don't be Tea Partiers. California, chill out. Chill out, because y'all voted for Hillary. Y'all got what you got. You didn't speak out against when democracy was being assaulted. You didn't speak out when Bernie was being assaulted, literally and figuratively. And you honestly have to move forward. We can't keep going backwards. We have to move forward. We have to give everybody their due process. Everybody. Like I said at the beginning of the video, our founding fathers were racist, slave-owning white men. Abraham Lincoln, who freed the slaves, was a racist, slave-owning white man. Benjamin Franklin, one of the most intelligent and revered minds in the world, was a misogynistic, chauvinistic prick. He just said some really cool things. Thomas Jefferson, same thing. Lyndon B. Johnson, who passed the Civil Rights Amendment, same thing. But you can't attack the person and say they can't do the job because of the type of person they are. Because if you have ever been in the work world, how I act at home is not how I carry myself in the office. I may create opportunity after opportunity after opportunity while I'm at work. But when I'm back home, I can say the most crazy racist things that nobody would ever know. Not that I do, but still. Because Donald Trump may want 8 years, he may go out of his way to never say anything racist or bigoted ever again. Because we have held him so accountable throughout this election process, he may walk the thinnest line that you have ever seen. Because he knows he can be held accountable, unlike Hillary Clinton. He knows he's not untouchable, unlike Hillary Clinton. And it's like what you all said. If we get the House and the Senate, we can hold the fire to Hillary Clinton. You ain't going to hold no fire to her feet if you get the House and the Senate. It's going to be the total opposite. How are they going to hold fire to her feet when these are the same people who are bolstering her, knowing all the crimes that she did? And my last thing, for those of you talking about, because this is my favorite thing I've seen so far, the popular vote went to Hillary Clinton, the electoral vote went to Donald Trump. So the people elected Hillary Clinton and the system elected Donald Trump. Let me tell y'all something. That has got to be the most ignorant, I can't believe y'all just said the system elected anybody but Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is the system. Hillary Clinton is CNN. Hillary Clinton is NBC. Hillary Clinton is Snopes. Hillary Clinton is the Daily Beast. Hillary Clinton is Huffington Post. Hillary Clinton is MSNBC. Hillary Clinton is Rachel Maddow. Hillary Clinton is Wolf Blitzer. Hillary Clinton is Anderson Cooper. Really? Because for those of you who don't know, the same thing happened with George Bush and Al Gore. This particular case is why the Electoral College was invented. I'm not a fan of Electoral College, but I'm not a fan of the Electoral College because of its tendencies to push out and keep out third parties. But in this particular case, we don't want a situation where the cities with the great opportunities that attract particular minorities and particular groups of people to overpower the people in the Midwest when they don't have that many people. So the numbers allocated could be skewed if we only looked at the popular vote, considering that Manhattan has more people on their island than Kansas has in their entire state. So of course, she won the damn popular vote. Al Gore won the popular vote when he lost to Bush. This is not new. But to say at all that the system wanted Donald Trump when the system was literally rearing against Donald Trump, I mean, just please keep him out. Let's say that Hillary Clinton has a 100% chance of winning because we really don't want Donald Trump to win. The same system that kept Bernie Sanders out, but much more successfully. I am positive we will get through this if we hold our senators and our and our congressmen and women accountable. They can't stay in forever. And you have to look at your state and keep reporting on your state so that everybody in your state knows what's going on. Everybody in your city, in your locality, in your municipality knows what's going on. So, with that being said, have a good morning. Share this video. Democrats, stop acting like Tea Partiers. Republicans, don't do anything racist or bigoted, please, in the next 4 years. I know it's a lot to ask, but I'm just asking because I'm trying to stay objective. And y'all gonna make it really hard if y'all start doing racist and bigoted shit. So, have a good afternoon, good afternoon. And I will talk to you all later. I'm actually going to post this video on my YouTube as well. So if you all want to view it there later on, please feel free to.